Good morning. It's been a really long time since I've done a video. It's 6 a.m. or if you spent the last 41 years living on the West Coast like me, your body still thinks it's 3 a.m. But today we've got a 4.5 hour drive ahead of us and we're going to go and check out our Project Hellcat, which we have not seen since January of this year. And I'm going to fill you guys what's been going on along the way. Let's go. Alright, so it's been a long time since I've uploaded for you guys, and it's been even longer, almost a year, since we've looked at or talked about our Project Hellcat. And in the last video, showed you guys we ran our best times at the quarter mile that we ever have with that car. And also blew the transmission up. So I'm going to tell you guys a little story about what's been going on, and then we'll get to the car. If you don't care about the story part and only care about the car stuff, I'll put a timestamp down below that you can just fast forward to right now. So it's been a very, very busy year, which is why I haven't uploaded very much. In January, I actually shipped the Hellcat out to my friend's shop here in Ontario. And in February, I moved to Ontario. And as soon as I got here, from BC by the way, so as soon as I got here I found out that the job that I had moved out here for got restructured. So that was cool. Yeah, I rented a place for 3 months and all that. I ended up staying for 2 weeks. Luckily I hadn't rented my home that I own in BC back out, so I basically packed my stuff back up, went back to BC. Now here we are, early August, and I am back in Ontario again. So I've moved back and forth across Canada twice this year. Anyways, one of the reasons that I did move out here is because obviously the car scene in the automotive industry is way bigger out here, so we can do a lot more content for you guys. There's 4 drag strips fairly close instead of 1, and a whole bunch of other stuff, along with my friends that are heavily involved in the car scene and stuff out here too. So we're going to be able to make a lot more content for you guys. Now, part of that is we launched a new website called Gearhead Daily earlier this year. We're going to focus, that is basically Ford, GM, Chrysler, ATVs, side-by-sides, Sea-Doos, all that kind of stuff. And I'm a little torn right now whether to just rebrand this channel as Gearhead Daily and put everything on there, or just keep this as a Mopar only channel and put less content, obviously. We are working with Chrysler, Stellantis, Dodge to kind of try to repair our relationship with them a little bit. They haven't been too happy with us, obviously, you know, with some of the stuff that we post on the website. Leaks and stuff like that, they don't love it. So if we are able to kind of repair that relationship, there's going to be more content that we can do with press vehicles and that kind of thing. But I'm just not sure whether to keep this as a Mopar only channel or just rebrand it and go across all brands. I know obviously we'd lose some viewers, but we'd pick up a bunch else. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But today we've got a 4.5 hour drive. We're going to go and basically get our Project Hellcat wrapped up. We won't be able to drive it today. We've got to get some transmission fluid and stuff like that, so we're going to order that from the dealer tomorrow. The original plan was that we were going to throw a Turbo 400 into the car, but that's not going to happen right now. We've got a drag and drive event, Ontario's first ever drag and drive event, later this month, and we were entered with the car, so we're gonna film it, do a bunch of cool content with you guys. So basically what we've done, and I'll let my friend Charles explain when we get to the shop here, we've rebuilt the 8-speed, but in kind of a unique way that I don't know if anybody else has done, which also makes me nervous whether it's going to work or not. And we've got just under 2 weeks till this event starts. So let's get to the shop, pick it up from there. We're doing something that may or may not ever work. So we're trying to put 8 HP 95 parts into 8 HP 90.
We got nothing.
I mean, we could just get stupid.
I'm telling you, there's a 400 next door.
Or we could do that.
With the bell housing on it. It's already set up. Oh, and look, I bought a cross member. And oh, look, I bought the transmission. I bought everything.
So what, you just with me, like pretending like we're rebuilding this thing and we're putting a 90 in it and a 400 in it anyway?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, well, let's go get it. Alright, so here's the current status. Transmission's out, drive shaft's out, obviously, and the rear diff's out because Charles drained it and apparently it's full of poo.
Flakes. Gold flakes.
Diesel oil.
So,
She's had a rough life.
yeah, this car has had a rough life. This little break in here. This is brand new.
Demon diff.
Alright, so the guys have got the diff in, the axles in, flex plates on, and then next is mock up the 400 and measure for the drive shaft. Okay, so 400 is bolted up for mock up. So now we need to do what? We need to build a custom mount.
Cross member.
Cross member, measure for a drive shaft. Verify pinion angle. Verify the amount of input into that guy.
Get a torque converter made.
Torque converter, pan, valve body, party.
And we have 10 days.
Okay. Oh, build a custom can simulator that simulates the 8-speed. Install the shifter.
We're good.
We're
Like 2 days of work.
Transmission's mocked up. Shifter's mocked up. New seats. Some carbon. And we'll be back with more.
Day 2.
Alright, so 6 days later, parts have shown up. They're all on the table. What do we have going on here?
Just enough to get in trouble. So deep pan. Try and not boil this fluid on a street drive. 3400 stall haze converter. Transmission cooler for a semi. Real good type F to try and keep that transmission together. Billet valve body for all the trans brake goodness. You have a bump box so you can bump in like a G. All the plumbing to get the trans cooler to the transmission. The 400's out now. We did find one small problem with the 400. The Hemi starter is going to fit this side because this is technically for an LA motor. It's for a Magnum. No, it's for a 5.9 Hemi. That's the problem. This is for a 5.9 Hemi.
It's for a 5.9 Hemi.
And it might need a 5.9 Hemi starter, which I know is on the driver's side.
V8 Magnum.
That's right.
Hemi.
Hemi. Is the Magnum a Hemi?
It's a Magnum.
It is a Hemi? It's gotta be a Hemi, dude.
Which puts the starter on the wrong side because 5.9s aren't Hemis.
I feel like an idiot for not recognizing that a 5.9 is the Magnum and not the Hemi. I would have never came to see this truck.
So we have overnighted a JW Ultra Belt for a modern Hemi in a L chassis. That will be here tomorrow, so that's not on the table right now, but thanks to Jason at JW for really solving that problem. And then the last hurdle, probably the biggest hurdle because this was an A8 car, is making the 400 work and keeping everything happy. Because of our time frame, building a can box is just not going to happen. But what we can do is, if you don't have it, you can steal it, right? So this is my drag and drive car, which won't be going to the event. But it's a 170 powered Gen 2 Viper, and it's running on a Mopar Hellcat electronic system. So it's basically plug and play, make your Hemi work. That car's a 15. This system's based off 15 Hellcat electronics. So we're going to steal the wiring out of this with the two-step and throw it in there so that we can win. Because we need to win.
This is ambitious, but I like it.
We'll make it happen. So there's nothing better in life than taking good race car parts and taking them apart for no reason.
Facts.
TCI Super Street Fighter, not with a trans brake option. I like to party, so
Trans brake, here you come.
we got to put the party plate in there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, to do that, you have to pull out the front two drums.
So correct me if I'm wrong in this train of thought,
You're wrong.
but I think we don't try the trans brake till like the last pass of the whole event.
First pass.
First pass,
Oh,
fucking send it.
First pass.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's not try that trans brake tonight.
Tomorrow for sure.
It'll be on the trans brake, on the stage 6, in this parking lot before it goes on the
Well,
trail.
yeah, I know, but it's not gonna hook in this parking lot, so.
Dude,
You have to test the
I got
trans
pimp
brake.
juice by the gallon here.
Alright, so before we put the pan on, these guys just finished doing a bunch of work. What do we have in there now? Valve body, trans brake.
Billet valve body, trans brake. That's really it. It was already a Super Street Fighter, so it had a lot of the work done for us.
Day 3.
Okay, so I'll give you guys a little bit of an update on the progress of the car here. So, under the hood, I've got the factory harness, most of it pulled out. What we're gonna do is throw in this harness here. It's the Mopar crate harness essentially. We're just waiting for the bell housing, then that can go in inside the car. We've got the trans brake and bump buttons wired up. We've got the new shifter in here. So we're getting ready to go. Just a little bit more. Alright, so as I was just finishing this edit up, I realized that the camera had a issue when I filmed the outro at the shop. But I had to leave and come home. It was Sunday afternoon. We got a lot done. The trans coolers in, lines are ran, most of the Mopar harnesses in, transmissions in, everything else as you guys saw. The guys are going to continue to work on it over the next couple days. I'm going back down on Wednesday. We'll film a bunch more, hopefully get you guys a video of it starting. And on Thursday, we actually have to leave to go to this Dragon Drive. So I got to really thank Charles and Dylan. They've been busting their ass trying to get this thing done. And we've only got a couple days left. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.